A Lost in Fire, Constantlian. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It is me, the Review Master 19 here. I just said a bunch of German words from U-boat games, I'm not even sure what they mean. It probably means something like, torpedoes away, fire. And today, we are going to be unboxing U-Boat Leader, The Battle for the North Atlantic by DVG Danversen Games 2nd edition. Okay, so just disclaimer before I start the video. Hope you guys are all well. More content is coming up. It's summer break for me now, so I'm done with work and college and all that, and we are back for more reviews and good content. U-Boat Leader is a solitaire war game of which you play as a series of German U-boats during the war. You start from the 1930s and work your way up, and as you progress, the Allies try to hunt and sink your U-boats, as that's what happened. We got more cleverer, and we managed to sink the U-boats and find out where they were, and wolf packs and stuff. And this game is where you play as the German U-boats. I have made a version of where you play as a convoy. Its rules are in here because this is a review, but it's also an unboxing because I put everything into bags. I played this multiple times and it's one of my most favourite time games. DVG, unfortunately, leader games, they come in these giant boxes. So you got a nice picture of a U-boat, some convoys. This is a 2nd edition, so it includes U-boat damage rules. Achtung, convoy sighted, armed torpedoes. Yeah, that's German, you know. So this is, as you see in the box, you got your cards and your tokens, and please pause the video if you want to see this. David Schuler game design. It comes with all of these things, and if I take the lid off, we can see what's inside. So, on the back, on the side, there's all the people who helped make the game possible, playtesters. A nice script there by Danversen. Again on the other side, and then you have your game number on one of the box side. Yep, stock number. So you of course will get a I think it's a 31-page rule booklet, and this basically covers everything you need to know. On the bottom you got your sequence, and I'll zoom in for you. Quick reference, these are the damage rules, which I believe weren't in the 1st edition. I'm not sure if they were. And you know, it's a real nice glossy paper, really shiny. I love to see it with Danversen games. And there is another submarine game where you play as the, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Ballo submarines. And what really, my knowledge of American submarines isn't good, but you play as submarines and US submarines, and you know, trying to destroy Japanese ships. So yeah, it comes with a rule booklet, which is very nice. You have the damage counters, and I shall get one of those out for you. So the damage counters, you'll put these into a cup, and when your U-boat's damaged or takes damage, you'll draw one of these. So for example, heavy, no effect, means you don't take damage. Really nice use of depth charge there. And then, it's brown for heavy, blue for light. No effect. But other damage could be your U-boat takes, I don't know, maybe stunned, which means, you know, your U-boat is stunned for a few turns. And there's just so many. Electrical, which if you have radars, and you can purchase points on this as well, which is nice. Torpedoes, and these are what you're going to be using for the cards, and I'll do a full playthrough soon. And there is advanced torpedoes. For example, FAT, which I didn't know, is the torpedo that it sort of goes in a convoy. So it goes in different ways. You've got your naval ships. So you've got battleships, carriers and whatnot. They're British, by the way. And then you've got your detection and alert. And these are what you'll be placing on the mini-map, encounter map, or tactical display board. That's what that is. You also have some tactics, so you'll be using these as the war progresses, or as you stack up in the campaigns. And then you got heavy. So your U-boats can take stress. And if your U-boat becomes shaken, well, your U-boat or the crew will not be able to do tasks. And what I like about the game is you don't just play as the U-boats, you actually play as the crew as well. I say play as the crew. You've got to organise and, put stress down. These are the light damage counters. So if it's yellow, it means light. And if it's red, it means very, very, very heavy damage and your U-boat is at risk of sinking. Each U-boat has a different hull system, and these are all the stress counters. Ammo counters, which are the 88mm rounds, because as you know, the U-boat carry the 88mm gun, or the deck gun. You don't fire anti-aircraft guns, you don't shoot aircraft down, instead you can just crash dive. These are all the U-boats, so that's what a U-boat token looks like. I will just show you. So you've got your U-boat designation, U503. So this would be a Type 9C. And then you've got the speed, which is 1 on the submerged. They can move 1. Surface, they can move distance of 2. And fire their deck gun. Very nice. We also have some detected markers. And some special options, which I'll point out when I get to the video in question. We also have the attacked, joined, and wolf pack counters, and also the snorkel and silent running. So now let's take a look at the cards. So the cards, you have naval cards, and naval cards will basically either be battleships, cruisers, destroyers. You've got aircraft carriers, and I'll just show you what a card looks like. So you've got what it is. Nice picture there of the ship, and these are actually real ships. HMS Edinburgh, it'll tell you what it is. For example, like cruiser, speed is 3, so on the tactical display, when you sight the ship, distance, you will be putting them on the tactical display board. I'll get into that in a minute. Victory points, if you sink it, is 1, and experience points is 2. Now, if your U-boat's on the surface and you've been detected by this cruiser or whatever, or ship, should I say, you take 4 light damage, and if you're submerged, well, you don't take no damage because these ones don't have depth charges because it's a cruiser. To kill it with your gun, you need an 8. A torpedo, you need a 8, and I'll kill it instantly. Whether with torpedo, these 3 represent the damage. So you've got light, heavy, killed. So if you get 4, it's light, 7, heavy, 11, you've destroyed it. But I wouldn't really go after navals. Carriers are different because they can do all sorts. Their aircraft can launch attacks on you, which is 2 light, or if you submerge, take 1 light, and then you've got, I think, light cruisers, and then you've got heavy cruisers, I think. Oh yeah, you got battleships as well. So those are the naval cards. Now let's get into the fleet cards. No, I messed up when I said fleet card. I meant event cards, and these will be what you'll be drawing throughout the game when you patrol and if you're moving. I'll tell you what that means. And events will be basically, for example, morale stress boost, remove 2 stress from this U-boat. There's good cards, and then there's cards here where, you do dice rolls, and it depends on what experience you are. And if it's not unfit, add stress to the U-boat. Nice typewriter, Enigma machine, rough seas, patrolling escort, counterintelligence, lone merchant, enemy aircraft. Really annoying card, because this is the card I draw all the time, and I get killed instantly. So yeah, really cool. Oh yeah, you've also got allied submarine attack, so that actually did happen as well. And you got radio intercept, and Donuts takes notice. So those are the event cards, and now let's take a look at the convoy. LS Maschinen Mach. These are the convoy cards. So the convoy cards are really cool because you'll be drawing these as when you sight a convoy, you will be drawing these. And for example, it will tell you contact type naval, so you draw naval cards, and you escorts you put here, and then your navals. Sometimes it's merchant, and sometimes it will give you different modifiers and stuff. There is lots of die modifiers on here, and maybe you might come up as one merchant or different escorts. So the game gives you a variety of different options. So the merchant cards are as follows. These are all the merchant ships, and these are all based on real ships. They are real ships. So you got different merchants, and of course the tonnage you're really looking at. I'm trying to sink as much allied tonnage as possible, but for some reason this is in here, which is a cargo liner. But then, if I can find the card, where is it? There it is. Empress of Britain. Giving me SS Lathina vibes. Is it the Lathina or Lusitania? You guys let me know. World War One, U-boat sunk it. Empress of Britain, high-speed passenger ship. If I saw this, I would probably not go for it, because I don't really like killing civilians, but, you know, if we come across it in the playthrough, I'll kill it. And you've got destroyers and ships that may be unmarked, basically simulating you as the commander made a mistake, and, you know, you need to draw from a different deck, and it might be a ship that you do not want. I have the FAT and T5 torpedoes, so these could be, as you can see, it gives you a die roll modifier, and the FATs, the G70s are the torpedoes that go straight. FATs are the ones that go, like, in a sort of grid system, if you will. Next are the escort cards, and I'm not going to jump cut because there's no point. But we'll jump cut when there's some other things. So when you get to escort cards, there are 3 fleet escort cards, and I believe you'll draw these. I'm not even sure why. I haven't even really read the rules much, but, you know. So we have Viceroy, we have all sorts of corvettes, destroyers, and these are escorts, which will be protecting the convoys and shipping, and will try to be detecting you if you make an attack. Next is the counters. I keep them in this container. And you have unmarked and merchants. So I'll get a merchant card out, token out, so you can see what they look like. You've got the ship, distance of 2, speed of 2, and then if it's damaged, you'll be putting the things out. Really cool, though. Okay, now let's get into the U-boat cards, because there's 50 of them. So U-boat cards, you have quite a lot. And I organised them in U-boat types. So you actually can use the, I believe it's the Type 11 or Type 12, 9. It's the Electroboot, which is the 1980s U-boat. Well, it's a different U-boat. U-boats have different skills. Infiltrator, which means they'll be able to do different things, and U-2511, that's important. The commander is just for flavour. This is important because it tells you what U-boat is. This is important because it tells you what years you need to use the U-boat in, and what you can use it in. So say like it was 39, I wouldn't be able to use this because it hasn't even been made yet. And to buy this U-boat or purchase it, you need 7 special option points, which you can be given at the start. So a U-boat card has green on it, and green means you're basically starting out on your patrol, but you can upgrade. As you can see, trained, and then you've got veteran, and then ace. Or ace or veteran, however it goes. So, stress, if you're okay. If you take 0 to 6, you're still okay. Any higher than that, you're shaken, and your initiative is the U-boat is cautious. This is the guns and the torpedoes. So these are your modifiers, and your evasion rating is important because you need to roll and add up in order to escape. Different U-boats can hold different torpedoes. The number here is for the number of the card. So you've got ready torpedoes. This U-boat can hold 6 because I don't even know what U-boat this is. It had, I believe it had 2 in each of the bow and then 2 in the stern. Stall torpedoes 18. So this is a really good U-boat if you manage to purchase it. And as you go up, you will notice that if it goes from green, it's 7 option points, but to upgrade it to that, it's 10 option points and stuff, so they have different things to watch out for that. Then you move on to the very tiny Type 2Bs, which you can only use in certain areas of the map. And yeah, these U-boats, you can't use guns. For example, this U-boat, doesn't have a gun on it. These U-boats do. These U-boats don't either. They have a small anti-aircraft gun, but you don't use these. Type 2B, again, it's just average. The Type 2B could only store 3 ready torpedoes, 2 in the bow and 1 in the stern, and carry 2 torpedoes. Then you rank up to the formidable Type 7B. This is U-47, Gunther Prien. This is important because he was the one who invaded Scapa Flow. And then you have more Type 7Bs. And then you can assemble a whole wolf pack if you want. You can have as 6 cards probably. Then you move on to the Type 7Cs, which is nice, and you have an option to use a deck gun as well as the Type 7B. And then once you have... Oh yeah, cool means it has different abilities. And then once you move to the Type 7Bs, you move on to the Type 7Cs. And then when you've moved on to the Type 7Cs, you get... Oh yeah, the Type 7As. And then you have the option to use, if I can find it, there's a lot of Type 7s in this game. Type 9s. There's different ones. So yeah, that's all the cards, and we've been running for 4 minutes, and now I'm going to jump cut and show you all the additional goodies. You can download these off BGG, which is Board Game Geek. These are, if I zoom out, the random U-boat selection charts, and I have these for basically if I wanted to let a dice, I roll a die, and if it's depending on these, it will tell me what U-boat I get, and what experience you'll get, and how much it'll cost, and the card. Even has a thing there. Then we have the different ones. So you've got Operation Drumbeat, the Happy Time, the Hunted. I believe there's 4 campaigns in here, so that's nice. And then we have the Sequence of Play, which is nice. And there's a lot here, so it's a bit daunting, but it's really nice. Again, BGG, Board Game Geek. And then you have my game, which I will cover very, very soon. U-Boat Under the Depths, where you play as a convoy. And I think this is on BGG. I think it's my first proper thing. And believe it or not, I just made this on my iPhone on notes. And so you've got damage, and you're basically playing as the convoy and also the escorts. Really cool. So you've got different phases. We'll get into that when we take a look at it very soon. And then I have guides, because the game originally comes with, if I find it, it originally comes with this really nice glossy, you know, U-boat leader map where, you know, you put in everything, but I ran out of these, and on BGG Board Game Geek there was this really cool easy one which you put your U-boat event type, tonnage, and, you know, you basically log. And then if you switch, you can do that as well. And you put your patrols and encounters, and there's a lot of them because I play this game a lot. So the next thing are the maps, so let's take a look at those. If the battle begins, and the map is just made of this really nice sort of cardstock, really glossy. You've got the battle begins, and if I zoom in, it's got some facts there. This is important. All I'm going to say is, I believe, ignore all this, I think. I'm not sure. I believe there was a typo on some of them. So you can do a short, medium, or long patrol. And what a patrol is a patrol is when you stay in an area for a certain amount of time. So, for example, short would be a patrol. So I could do one patrol here, so I could stay here, and then I could move to this one, or just stay in that one. That would be one patrol. At the start of the game, you're given a set of special option points. So if you do short, you're given 26. As you go up, it becomes 32 and then 38. Your victory points, when you finish the game, this will tell you how good you did. Special option notes, that's what, if I can find it, this bag is. Apart from this counter here, that's the counter you'll be putting on the tactical display mark to note how many ships you've found. You can do all these things. You can even call radio call for Wolfpack, wolf pack, you need to roll, fail to join, but if you've already purchased the radio call, you can get a convoy. So when you start the campaign, you must remove these convoy cards, and that's basically for historical accuracy. So really cool. At the start, you begin in France, you begin in Germany, because it's 1930 to 1940, and then as the war progresses, you've got the happy time. You begin with 2 ports, and then again, you begin with 2 ports, and as you can see, it gets more and more critical. So, North Sea, British Isles, Western approaches, Type 2Bs can only operate in these 2 areas. So, you have special attack. So these are the special options you can do if you want to. I haven't, because I haven't understood what they are yet. So patrolling is basically, you will need to patrol 2 times for this, and then you'll put your U-boat counter searched. Moving is basically where you will be moving and you'll be drawing cards. So patrolling, I would take 2 cards, event cards, and then moving 1. But if I was just patrolling, I'd take 2 event cards. Contacts, you roll, and it will tell you how many contacts you have. So if I got a 1 or a 2, it would be 0. The highest amount of contacts you can have is 10 plus and 3. And then you'll, of course, use this counter. Say like I had 3 contacts. Well, that would be 3, and then you take 1, so that'd be 2. I never got the high contact roll. Really cool. So yeah, that's the map. This is the help sheet. Ignore some of this. I'm not sure if this is all correct. I'm not even sure. But yeah. So this is where you'll be placing your merchant, your escort, and your naval. You put your fleet escort cards somewhere there. Got a nice little clock there. And I love that, you know, this hard stock. So this is all of the information. It tells you attacks. And then you have your tactical display, which is what you'll be using in my version of Under the Depths. So as you can see, you have your map and you have convoy area. This is where the convoy will be, and the escorts will be placed around here. U-boats can either be in the long-range convoy wake, medium and short, and then you've got convoy course. If the convoy reaches the long-range convoy wake, you lost track of them and the convoy is lost. Event cards and convoy cards, really cool. So, I think I've covered all of that. So, if you would like me to do a thorough gameplay, I shall do so. Please like and subscribe, and I will definitely do a video of U-Boat Leader Under the Depths. Apart from that, Hegaloin, I shall see you on the seas. Take care.